Good day, students. Today we are going to see on the title IP address. This title is under the course or the subject Internet Technologies. This is coming under Unit 1. Myself, Dr. A. John Pradeep Ebenezer, is going to present you on the title IP address. IP address can be called as Internet Protocol address. It is the unique number, that is identifying number, assigned to every device connected to the internet. And an IP address definition is a numeric label assigned to devices that uses the internet to communicate. Let me go in-depth explanation on this particular definition about IP address. Here we have two new words, or the words which clearly explain what is IP address is. Unique identifying number, which means no two devices can have the same number, assigned to every devices connected to the internet. We are referring the word device, which means we should not take that a computer or a laptop alone that is connected to the internet will be given an IP address. It doesn't, that is wrong. Actually, a laptop, a computer, a mobile phone, that is a smart mobile phone, it can be a smart TV also, or it can be any IO devices that is connected in internet, will be assigned a unique number, and that number is called as an IP address. Why we need this number to be very unique is, suppose if the source want to identify a receiver. A source can be a mobile phone and the receiver can be a laptop. Suppose the source want to identify a receiver, definitely that receiver is identified using a unique number. That number is called as an IP address. And in return, the receiver, if it wants to get communicated with the sender, it also needs the number or an IP address of a particular sender. Then the receiver can supply or send the information to the sender. Now we'll go in-depth analysis on IP address, its type. There are basically two types of IP address that is currently in use. One is IPv4 and another one is IPv6. IPv4 stands for Internet Protocol version 4, and IPv6 is Internet Protocol address, that is version 6. We'll see in this presentation or in this class, we'll see about IPv4. IPv4 consists of 4 numbers separated by the dots. Each number can be from 0 to 255, that is in decimal number, but the computers do not understand decimal numbers. They instead change them to binary numbers, which are only zeros and ones. What is referred in this first point is the IP address, that is IPv4. It has 4 set of numbers separated by a dot, that is dot separated notation, and each number will be having a minimum value of 0 and a maximum value of 255, and subsequently, which means each dot separated part will have 8 bits of representation, which means that if it's divided, that IP address is divided into 4 parts, and each part is an octet, that is 8 bits, and it sums up to 32 bits, which it concludes that IPv4 is making use of 32 bits as an IP value or an IP address of a particular system or a laptop or a mobile phone or an IoT devices. That is clearly explained in the second point. Suppose 0 to 255 can be written as the 0 value is all 0 and 255 is all 1. Something in between 0 to 255 also will have that value is assigned as an octet value for a particular address. The point number 3 explains you that since each number is n and can be represented group of 8-digit binary digits. To summarize, all IPv4 binary address can be represented by 32 bits of binary digits. In IPv4, a unique sequence of bits is assigned to a computer, so a total of 2 power 32 devices can be assigned an unique number or an address. For an example, an IPv4 can be written as 189 dot separated notation dot 123.123.90. You can have any number of addresses, that is 2 power 32 addresses can be assigned. Suppose I can give another example also. It can be 240, it can be it can be around 195.40.60.5, or it can be 165 dot, and another one is 32 dot and 16. This can be also an IP address. So let me summarize here. An IPv4 can be assigned, can be given 32 bits allocated to it. With this 32 bits, we can have 2 power 32 devices given and an IP address, which is somewhat, it is going to be unique. Then now I can explain you why IPv6 came into existence. Uh, Suppose on the era where IPv4 came into existence, there were only laptops and computers. Now we have mobile phones, we have IoT devices, smart TVs, all things are connected in internet, and these things need to be given an IP address. Then 32 bits was not enough to be assigned as an IP address to all these devices, because unique number cannot be derived. So more number of bits were allocated as an IP address, and we got the version IPv6. Now in the next slide, different classes of IP address. The classes is determined based on the value that is assigned to the first octet. If the first octet IP address, first octet of an IP address is between 1 and 126, you call that address as class A. If the first octet is between 128 and 191, then we call it as class B. And the third octet is between 192 and 223, then it is called as class C. And the fourth octet, if it is between 224 and 239, that is reserved for multitasking. And for research and development, the first octet will be assigned the value 242 254, that belongs to class E. I'll summarize this slide. This IPv4 addressing is divided into 5 classes, that is from class A to class E. Depending on the values that is assigned to the first octet, the classes are determined, or it is divided, or it is assigned. Suppose if the value is between 1 to 126, it's class A. Suppose if it is between 128 and 191, is class B. For class C, it is 192 and 223. And for class D, it is 224 to 239, that is reserved for multitasking. And for class E, it is between 242 to 254. This is reserved for research and development. For patient listening, in the next classes, we get into in-depth analysis on IP address. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you one and all.